Hi, I'm Brandon Rhiness. I am the writer and director of Hotbox, and I'm going to do a commentary on the movie to talk about all the effort that came into getting it made and some insights into behind the scenes of the film. It's been a while since I've watched it, so let's get into it.
Higher Universe Pictures.
So I says to her,
Now, I consider this really to be my first movie, or the first movie I did with this team. Technically, Cold Comfort was shot before this, but it wasn't released until after this. So they're kind of both my first movie, but I consider this my first real one.
I says to her, you know what, sweetheart, you can destroy the hotel room all you want. I'm never going to pay for it because the drummer's going to pay for it. He looks exactly like me. And I'm like, the cops went to grab somebody with long dark hair and they popped my drummer because they thought, it was me.
So this story here, that's Crazy Dave there on the right. I didn't script this. He kind of just ad-libbed it. The only line I wanted was the line about true love in the 60s. He came up with that line in one of the promo videos for Hotbox, and I really liked it. So I told him, just, ad-lib a bunch of stuff, just talk, but make sure you end on that 60s, true love in the 60s line.
And it wasn't me, but I tell you this, boys. If it wasn't for the 60s, nobody would know what true love really is.
By the way, I'm going to be starting and stopping this a lot, so if you have not seen the movie and you just want to watch the original, it's here on this channel on YouTube, and I'll link to it in the description. That little guitar sound there, David Gallinger, our sound guy, just did that himself while he was recording. I just wanted some sort of sound here for the opening titles. And it's actually the same sound that Faisal Jamamed and I use for our movie review podcast.
Are you like in a band or something?
Fuck yeah.
Is this your car?
So Crazy Dave here, Crazy Dave Williams, I met him years ago when he worked at King's Night. He was a DJ there, and his band Killinger, I saw them play and saw him perform there and other places a few times. I didn't really know him that well. And it wasn't until I released, when I first started doing film for real, like around 2015, 2016, we did a screening of a couple of my short films, Mental Case and I'm in Love with a Dead Girl at the Garneau. And he showed up, and I hadn't seen him in years, and he's like, yeah, I've heard about this, and if you ever want, if you want me to be in your movie, in a movie, I'd love to do it. And he's quite the character. He's a really cool guy. He's great at promoting himself. He's just all-around awesome guy. So I was like, yeah, man, one of these days I'll have to put him in a movie. And, of course, when it came time to do this one, I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to reach out to him. And he ended up playing this role. And he's worked with me like a whole bunch of times since.
Actually, no.
Let's go inside.
Yeah. Well, you boys have yourselves a decent little party out there. Rock and roll.
Yeah, so this car, it was lent to us by Steve Sang, who's a film guy here in Edmonton. He was really generous. I didn't have any particular kind of car I wanted. I just wanted something unique. And so he gave us this one, and it was very generous of him to do that.
I wonder how Simon's doing with Lacey.
But he hasn't even talked to her yet.
Yeah.
Maybe he never will.
Come on, Ryan.
So these music choices are quite interesting. Our sound guy kind of just came up with them when he was doing the sound mix. He just found some of this music somewhere, and I can't remember why. I think we were just like getting close to. We just wanted to get it out, and in hindsight, we probably should have chosen something more appropriate because it just some of it just seems kind of strange in hindsight. So this house, by the way, it was owned by the city of Edmonton, and apparently some guy had built the house on this piece of land, just right on the edge of the city, and for whatever reason, the city wanted to like rezone the land, or they wanted it for some reason, so they bought it from him for like market value, which apparently he made a profit on it, and the house was like 90% finished, and I guess he just abandoned it, and then it was just sitting there empty. And so it looked like a real house. There was no running water. It had power and it kind of had heating, but there was no running water. So we had to bring in like porta potties and stuff, and we just had a ton of bottled water. And but it was like it was basically this like mansion. So it was we definitely got a good deal for the fact that it cost us like $0. They just let us have it for like a month for nothing. There we got young Braden Hameluk. Of course, he's been in a bunch of other things since. This was the first time we worked with him.
I basically had to duck underneath the thing as well because it was like, oh man, I'm about to hit my head on this side.
Simon, wake up. Remember, Simon, there's a fine line between innocent courtship and creepy stalker.
Don't listen to him, man. Lacey's just a normal human being. You shouldn't feel intimidated. But don't be creepy either.
So yeah, this whole Simon and he's like infatuated with this one girl. That was one of the first stories I came up with. I had a list of like there was probably like 20 different storylines. There was like him, the goth girls, the religious trio. There's a whole bunch of them, and I kind of whittled it down just to like the top few. Some of them, instead of being a full storyline, they end up just becoming like one scene or one little bit or something. But this was always kind of one of the main ones.
Me and my friend Tyler and I, we always hang out at the bar together. Like I love Tyler.
Oh my god! They want me to come in for an audition tomorrow.
Wow, congrats.
This is it. This is my big break.
You ladies want to go for a hoot?
There we got Uncle Hack from the Danger Cats. I can't remember how we came to know him. Someone introduced us. We reached out, and he was super cool, and he was nice enough to come out and be in this movie and help promote it.
Sure, we need to celebrate.
Oh, perfect timing.
I'm an actress.
No shit.
I'm gonna be famous.
Huh. Ain't that something?
So yeah, here we got the introduction of the religious trio. Originally, they were going to have like a little rack, kind of like those, I don't know if they're Jehovah's Witnesses, but you see people around, especially like downtown Edmonton, and they have like a whole rack of like magazines and stuff out on the street. We were trying to do that, but it just kind of became too hard, so we just had these posters printed. I'm pretty sure I just came up with the slogans that were going to be written on them, and then someone made the designs on them.
Do these people even care that they're going to burn in hell?
And not just for a short while.
For all eternity.
And so yeah, this is probably my favorite part of the movie is their storyline. I'd met Julie on a short film I did before this, and I directed the short film Hideaway that she wrote and produced. So I knew her from before this, and she came on board as a producer here. And it's funny because Elizabeth Chamberlain there on the right, as everyone knows now, like she's the lead in Grotesque and I'm Haunted. Like I've worked with her in like pretty much every single project since. But back here, we barely knew her. Like I knew her. She was in Cold Comfort. She did the voice of a friend on the phone. So I'd met her before, but I'd never really spoken to her. Like I barely knew her. I think this was the first time on this movie we actually chatted for a couple minutes. But I barely knew her here. So this is kind of when I really got to see her shine. And then we got Nick Gauthier there in the middle playing Barry. I remember there was a big deal about whether or not to have a beard, and we were debating back and forth of whether or not he should be clean shaven, because they're not Mormons, but it's kind of hinting that they're kind of like leaning towards that kind of religion. But I think it was Julie that was trying to push me towards the beard because it made him look like he's like Amish kind of thing. So I think in hindsight, it was a good choice. I think it was good that we went with the beard.
Excuse me. Do you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ? I am too fucking high to deal with this shit right now.
Taking the Lord's name in vain is a sin, you know.
They've been led astray, Ariel.
Yes, by the devil.
Well, the devil won't get all of them, I'll tell you that much. I will save at least one soul here tonight, and I won't leave until I do.
Here we have the introduction of the Goth Girls. We have Lindsay Christopher there, who is also a co-producer on the movie.
Hey, Thorne, have you seen Tanya?
No.
And then we have Danielle Kravanke there on the right, and Emily Ann Salkeld in the middle, playing the other two Goth Girls. And I'd never met Emily before. Pretty sure I met her when she auditioned for this role. Danielle, of course, was Ebony Shaw in The Painting of Ebony Shaw. That's how I met her.
Bitch disappeared on me. She was here like half an hour ago, and then she just vanished.
Cool.
No, not cool. She has our weed.
That's okay. We've got our own.
Brooke guy. I know you haven't known each other very long, but ever since I met you, I know you were the one. And fuck.
Yeah, Chris Schuler here is perfect for this role. He's a hilarious actor. And a very good one.
Too lame.
Hurry the fuck up, Tom. I got a pitch.
Were you jerking off in there?
Look, don't tell anyone, but I'm gonna ask.
This guy on the left, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but there's a few people, like some of the people in this movie I went on to work with like a whole bunch of times on everything. That guy I never worked with again. I don't think I ever saw him again.
Brooke to marry me.
So if you look in the background there, these two girls, these two young women there, I can't remember who they are, but I remember they were just extras. They were like hanging around at the party, and they came up with their own like storyline for their characters. They were like this couple, and they had this like storyline. So even though we only ever see them in the background, they were trying to like pull off some kind of story. So I kind of like it that they put that much effort into their characters.
Brooke to marry me.
You've only known her 2 months.
That's all it takes to know I'm in love.
Are you sure she's gonna say yes?
I don't know, but I got a good feeling about this.
So here we have Fawn Martin.
I'm telling you, I hate that guy.
And Terrence Van Camp here is Nathan, the guy who's trying to fight everyone.
If he comes near me, I'm dropping that motherfucker.
Nathan, what's up, man?
So there is some misunderstanding here. The guy on the right there, Lee Lopez is the actor's name. He was the guy that was just having sex in the car with the blonde girl. But you couldn't see his face, so I know there's a lot of people that didn't make that connection. But that was him.
There's some seriously fucked up chicks here, let me tell you.
That's the best kind of party.
I heard you got into a fight outside Rogers the other night.
Fuck yeah, some guy was starting some shit with me. You got a couple lucky shots in, but I landed a fucking haymaker to his kidneys. Left one?
Yeah, this whole kidney joke, how he brings it up a whole bunch of times in this movie about something about kidneys. That was, I don't know where that joke came from, because in the original script, this is the only reference I had to it. But I remember at one point I had a few people come over, just people that were like in the Edmonton film and creative community that I thought were funny, and we did a read through of the script and to add a bunch of jokes and punch it up a bit. And I'm pretty sure it was probably there that we somehow got talking about the kidney thing, and then we just added it in a whole bunch of times. But it's one of the things that I didn't think it was that particularly funny, but a lot of people, when they reference the movie, they bring up the whole ongoing kidney joke.
End of that guy.
Right on.
Tanya's not dead.
Then where did she go? She's always on her phone. Like, unless she's passed out, it takes her like 5 seconds to respond to a message.
Maybe she met a guy.
And so for the lighting in here, Sam Reed was our cinematographer, and we just use a lot of like colored gels, so it's always a different color. Here it's green, and other scenes we tried to make it like reflect the color of like what was happening in the scene, but I think sometimes it was just whatever, some random color that we thought looked cool.
If Tanya met a guy, we'd have all heard about it.
Maybe she got bored and left.
Without telling me? And how did she get home? She's too broke for a cab.
Maybe she got kidnapped.
Who would kidnap Tanya? She's too annoying.
Whose car is this?
And originally, the story, like when I first started working on the outline and stuff, the entire movie was going to be in the car. It was going to be outside at this party, and basically there's all this drama happening in this house that you never saw, but people would come out to this car to smoke weed and talk. So all the stuff would happen out of the car, and you would just pick up little bits of the story. That was going to be kind of the point. But as it started going, I realized that it was just too hard to tell the story only from the car. So I was like, maybe we could have some of it inside. And then it became like half of it inside. And then it became like 3/4 of it inside. And then we were supposed to shoot in the summer, but we were having a hard time raising money and other things kind of got in the way. So we had to push the shoot to November, which of course here in Canada is the winter. And then it became just too cold to shoot outside. So we moved the car into the garage. And then we moved like most of the other scenes that were going to be outside indoors. So now there's a few scenes that happen outside, but very minimal. So it changed a lot. The overall concept changed a lot between conception to actually shooting it.
Wait, they got everyone notice?
And of course, that's Liz there. We just saw as the blonde goth girl yelling at this dude. And you could tell it's her from her voice, but it was pretty funny, so we kept it. And then, of course, you got Sam Reed there on the left, our cinematographer. He wanted to walk through the shot as an extra, so we let him do that.
I want to find out. I cannot believe that you would do this. I fucking saw her in there.
And you got Morgan LeBlanc there on the left and Tom Antony on the right. Tom, he was in, he was the lead guy in I'm in Love with a Dead Girl, and he was in I'm Haunted and some other projects we did. Of course, he's also Dr. Wash in Grotesque. That's probably his claim to fame.
Hey, want some of this?
So I can't remember what we were using for weed. It was some sort of other substance. I think some of the people that smoked, we just used tobacco, and other people we used like oregano or some sort of other substance that was really quite disgusting. Like it was, it smelled bad and made people cough, and it was quite gross.
It's just 2 years.
2 years in jail is a long fucking time.
Are you sure you want to cross Brennan?
I'm not a rat. But given the choice between 2 years in prison and ratting out a coke dealer, let's just say I value my freedom.
I always I'm not a rat, but I'm going to rat this guy out.
I can't believe you got busted.
Yeah, what a bunch of bullshit.
Well, let's see it.
So yeah, Dylan, I think that's his name. The guy on the left here got caught, got busted for selling drugs because he's working for this drug dealer, and I guess the authorities basically offered him the choice: rat out your drug dealer, or you're gonna go to prison for 2 years. So he chose to rat him out. So this joke here with the enormous tape recorder, I can't remember if the prop came first or if it was in the script first. It might have been in the script that it was a huge tape recorder, and then we found one. But I think it was Jamie Hill who was in this. Jamie Hill is probably best known for being the mom in Skinamarink. She had this tape recorder. So either she had it and we were like, oh my God, that's perfect, or it was written in the script and then she said she had one.
Why is it so big? Can't cops get modern recording equipment?
Budget cuts, I don't know.
It's kind of funny. That line's come up a few times of just anytime we have to cheap out on something. And I think even Julie and I were talking a couple days ago. This is 6 years later or something, and she mentioned something, budget cuts. So we're always referencing that.
How are you going to get him to say anything incriminating?
I'm working on it. I can't just blurt out, hey, Brandon, give me the details to your operation. I speak loudly and clearly into my coat. I gotta just be cool.